Sword Fighter, huge toy collecting movies. Good or bad or getting legends. Restoration is on memories.
Hello everyone, it's Outrider here and welcome to another video. And this is a bit of a discussion video that was prompted by my good friend Dave Shotton. I've been having this thought over the last couple of days, and then Dave just basically crystallised it in my head when he messaged me this morning, and it's about exclusive. So the question that I'm asking is, are exclusives ruining collecting? And I think it's a really poignant point based on where we're at the moment. Now let's talk about why a lot of us collect stuff. Number one, it's the thrill of the chase. And I think that goes back to those of you that were born in the 80s or even the 90s, right? The generation of going out and hunting and looking for these things and stumbling across it in these weird places and little shops and car boot sales to build a collection of things that have taken years to build, that were not before the time of the convenience of the internet. You had to stroll around shops, and it was part of the fun. It was the thrill of the chase. But the thrill of the chase has been replaced with the fear of missing out. And this is just my opinion, but disagree with me. And the fear of missing out is now massive, absolutely massive. And it occurred to me that actually, you know what, I've fallen into this bracket as well. Before this year, I did not really pre-order anything. I can't remember the first item I pre-ordered, but definitely coming into 2020, I've maybe only pre-ordered one or two items. Now I'm pre-ordering loads. And why is it? It's because the exclusive has changed the game at the moment. And this is why, if we think about BotCon exclusives or previous exclusives or Toys R Us exclusives, they were characters that are a bit of oddities, repaints. I remember in the latter days of Toys R Us, there was the Cybertron, the Transformers Cybertron Primus, that was repainted in an orange colour for the last night, I think it was, which was an exclusive. In the past, there's been BotCon exclusives and SDC exclusives that have been, well, repaints and oddities. Like, for example, the Boba Fett from last year's San Diego Comic Con in the toy colours. It's really cool and I want one, but it's not an integral part of the collection. But this year that's changed, and the exclusives have stopped being pretty cool, nice to haves, to actually must have characters. Now let's have a few examples of that recently. I'm going to use the Transformers franchise. A lot of people, and I'm not saying all people before people jump on the bandwagon, a lot of people are looking for that ultimate G1 cast, that G1 look. And there are certain key characters to get that, especially season 1 or 2. And both in the Siege line and indeed the Earthrise line, the Seekers are a fundamental part of that, right? I'm going to use Skywarp as an example. Skywarp was, I think it was an Amazon exclusive. This is last year. And that was the first real indication that the winds were changing. This is a character that essentially a lot of fans will need. People might be able to live with just a Starscream, but they can't live with a Starscream and Thundercracker. And I've been living with that for the best part of 12 months. And I wasn't going to pay the exclusive price. And so moving into this year, it's got even worse because Thundercracker, Surge, Ramjet, Prowl and Ironhide are all exclusives. They're all Amazon exclusives, which means the thrill of the chase is gone because you can only get these bloody things online. So this changes the game because key characters in a line are now becoming the exclusives. And we see this in the G.I. Joe line at the moment. And I've pre-ordered a few of these. But there's a Cobra Trooper, an absolute army builder if you're really into that line, that is now a Walmart exclusive. A Walmart exclusive. Now that's great for you guys over in the States to a certain extent. I'm not saying it's brilliant, right? I'm not saying it's brilliant because you can get up and you can go and hunt around your local Walmarts. There might be one even like 100 miles away or whatever it might be, but chances are if you sat in your car you could get to a Walmart. Over in the UK, we can't get to a Walmart. We have Asda's, which are the same brand, but to be honest with you, you'd be lucky to get a Lego set in most bloody Asda's, let alone an exclusive G.I. Joe. So we haven't got that luxury, and we rely on these amazing toy sites, and they're amazing toy sites, and I've got so much kudos from your Kapows, your Comics and Cocktails, your In-Demand Toys, your Star Action figures. These people are the ones that are actually keeping us in these collections. I mean, I got my Seekers, my Thundercracker and Skywalk from Kapow. I've pre-ordered some stuff from Kapow. I've pre-ordered a lot of stuff from Comics and Cocktails and even In-Demand. But no, there is no way, apart from through those retailers, for us in the UK, and I'm only talking about the UK, I know it's different because I know in the US, because I know the Walmart websites are rubbish and I know all that. And you've got to have very different challenges, but probably the same meaning behind it, the same issue, is that you can't actually... You've got this fear of missing out. I mean, I was not collecting the G.I. Joe line, but when I saw Kapow put them up there and it was limited stock, it was like, oh, I might need them. I might actually start collecting them one day. So I actually started a collection through the fear of missing out. Not for the fact that I wanted those specific toys. It was like, I might need those toys. And I've taken a step back and looked at myself, and that is a really, really bad place to be in as a collector. Because what we end up doing is, we've got a collecting budget. We spoke about this before. We spoke about this in previous videos. We all fund our hobby in our own ways, but there's still a budget. There's still the real life out there. But we end up reaching out into other collections just for the fear of missing out. And the exclusives now are really feeding that fear, because you've got a window of opportunity, and when that window of opportunity is gone, then your chance of owning that toy is gone. Unless you go down what I like to call the black market of toy collecting, and you start to feed these, let's be polite to them, let's call them scumbags that are scalpers, right? The people who go out there and buy a load of toys off the shelf, and I see it all the while in my friends in the US, on loads of videos I watch, that people have gone and scalped sections and left the shelf warmers for their own profit. And this is where exclusives really fail the collector. And to be honest with you, they fail retail as well, because what they've done is they have gone, okay, we'll take this quote and we'll sell this figure. Then, because they're selling this figure, their distribution potentially isn't the best, then scalpers will go and wipe up all these knowing that people won't get them from anywhere else, and then they'll start to sell them on. Now, I sell on stuff, right? I hold my hand up and I sell on stuff, but I sell on stuff that I've bought in my collection, I've opened, I've experienced, and I've decided that I don't want to be part of this collection anymore. What I don't do, what I absolutely don't do, is buy a load of other things. If I see a figure on the shelf, clear the shelf off. Could have done it with some of the Siege stuff and some of the Earthrise stuff. Cleared the shelves off, stuck them in eBay and made it and charge people double. And that's the only real people who gain from this exclusive. The scalpers. The people who are taking us fans for a ride. They are creating the fear of missing out, because they are the ones that are buying up all the stock and charging it at an astronomical amount. They're the ones who actually are causing the shelves to be empty in the US. They're the ones who actually, the reasons why potentially, I don't know, certain toy sites in the UK will sell out quickly. And it's adding this stress to the collection. I mean, if you think about it now, I mean, I sat there and I had an element of little stress when I was buying this. I bought the Baroness, which actually I'm really happy about getting, because that was one of my favourite figures from G.I. Joe when I was a kid. But I also bought the Trooper, and part of me was thinking, well, hang on a minute, I've got this Trooper, but I've only got these two in the collection. In my head, my little mini collection of this G.I. Joe I wanted was Cobra Commander, Destro and the Baroness. So I'm going to actually, in this little kind of trio that I want to have as my Cobra collection, I've now got a trooper that actually doesn't fit into there. But nevertheless, right, I've got a lot of friends who are collecting this stuff. And if they are stuck for one, I'll sell them it for what I bought it for. And you know what I mean? That's fine. But it does create this stress. It does create this want for stuff. And it changes the way we're collecting. Instead of going out and earning your money and going, right, I've got this pot of cash for the month and I want to go and spend it on toys, what you end up doing is start to spend your wages or your toy budget from 3, 4, 5 months' time in the future. And who knows what state you're going to be in there and what other priorities come up. And it's really changing the game. It's really changing the collecting game. And to be honest with you, the exclusive has just got so big now. If you think back to the Toys R Us days, and I'm quoting Dave Shot now, I'm quoting him, where he said that there wasn't this much exclusive in the Toys R Us days, but it's been the exclusives now in Walmart and Target, and whatever it might be in Amazon, are being blamed on the downfall of Toys R Us. Well, there wasn't that many Toys R Us exclusives, and as I've said before, the 6 major Transformers generation 6. There we are. I can count now. Cheers, Downer. All else hasn't helped. But there's 6 Transformers key characters, Force Seekers, and Ironhide and Prowl that are Amazon exclusives. Have I got a problem with the selects? No, I haven't got a problem with the Transformers selects because they're the things that should be exclusives, and I'll get that. A repaint of Rotorstorm? Happy days. Hubcap? Happy days. Exhaust? Happy days. They are not key characters that as a collector is a must-have. They are nice to have and more inquisitive purchases. But once you start putting these A-list and B-list characters on exclusives, it starts to fall apart. It's interesting where collecting is going. And I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it if people would do a response video to this. If you do your YouTube channel or leave a comment or whatever it might be. Because I think this is a really important topic. I have been pre-ordering more than I ever have done. I was sitting there last night and I had a pre-order come through for a Star Wars figure I pre-ordered a couple of months ago. And it's funny because at that time I really wanted it. And now, yeah, I do want it. But the shine isn't there anymore, and it's interesting. It's interesting. I'd love you all to do a response or to comment. So let me know. I think it's a really important topic. So let me know what you think of exclusives. Are they causing all these scalpers? Everything like that. Anyway, until next time, I've been Zork Rider, and I'll catch you again soon.